bone. And then he said, but I think not. And I said, well, why do you think not? And he says, kind of like almost sarcastically, he says, well, bone doesn't just sprout in the middle of a muscle. I'm like, so, okay, well then, what is it? He said, I don't know. And, I had intended to take this story to my grave. I really did. I really saw no upside to writing a book or talking to people about it. It's just a way to make myself anxious and lose a good night's sleep. But after seeing those x-rays, I felt like I had a duty to tell everybody that I knew, to write a book and tell the truth, to tell the story without embellishment, and inform the rest of the human race that, hey, something's going on. This stuff is real. When David Paulides talks about, 30,000 people a year going missing from state and federal parks, well, I was in what I thought was a state park. And like you said, we were lucky. We got kicked out of that spaceship, and there were about 20 men, women, and children mixed that went straight up when that thing went up. And I don't know what happened to those poor souls. They're either, I've heard that, I know the woman that you're talking about, who says that they like to eat human flesh and use humans as pets, as slaves, all kinds of absolutely horrendous things.
Well, Terry, so, I got to tell you this. I got a guest coming on 2.5 weeks, maybe 2 weeks. I don't want to mention who their name is because I'm going to shock people. But they claim, and I think I told this to James, that they were taken aboard a UFO. They were put on an examination table. And again, they were frozen. They couldn't move their body, but they could move their eyes. And what they saw scared the you-know-what out of them. They saw table after table after table of humans.
Endless.
Yeah, it was like a huge craft. Like one of these huge ones are supposedly big as Walmart type store. And when he was taken aboard, yeah. He was taken in this huge room, and that's what he remembered. He was like frozen, but he could move his eyes, and he just noticed this room full of all these metal tables with all these humanoids on them, and he claimed it was like hundreds of them. So if that is even the case, it being somewhat true, even if it is true, that part would be so scary. Because why do they need... Well, come on, this has been going on for a long time. If they're just experimenting or trying to find information about humans, they would have found that out a long time ago. A long time ago. There's something else going on. Now,
There's something else going on.
I mention a lot of times, and people don't get it. They get mad at me when I say it, but you remember that long, old show with Donald... God, I can't think of his last name. Invasion of the Body Snatchers. I kind of think that. I think something is going on. And, I just feel it. I just don't make logical sense. I mean, unless each one of these UFOs are coming down with new doctors on it and they're learning about human anatomy, I just can't believe for hundreds and thousands of years, whatever's been going on, that they're abducting people and experimenting and implanting them. There's something going on, and it's a dark subject, very dark.
It is. And, it's like David Paulides says in his book. They're so good at it. They've been able to do it without leaving a trace.
Oh, yeah. Well, they do leave a trace. You remember? A lot of people remember. And that's it. I mean, I have talked to guests on my show, like James mentioned, but it's been more than one. They're scared to go to bed at night because they're scared they're going to be abducted. They're terrified. I mean, during the day, I guess it's just like, some of those movies with the zombies, whatever is it, 21 Days, they couldn't be out in the daylight, but as soon as it get dark, they would come out. Well, people have been abducted. They feel safe kind of in the daylight, but at night when they go into their bedroom, they go to bed and they have no control once they're laying there. and they're scared to sleep at night. They're scared.
It's true. And just think of those visions of I was going to say, think of those visions, seeing all those people on those beds and those ships. I mean, that alone has got to scare you to death. And I'm under like you say, Gary, they've been coming here so long. I think they need us for something from us to sustain them, whether it be food or whatever it may be. But it's got to be something other than, experiments they've done, found out what they wanted to find out by now.
Well, maybe they need something from us to regenerate. I don't know.
Right.
We don't know. That's the whole point. We don't know what's going on. We do know it's something going on. And it's bad when our own government denies it, okay, and won't tell us. But again, Terry, you being an attorney, you know what would happen if the government did come out. They have lied for so long. If they came out right now, especially the way things are, and tried to say, hey, something is going on. We have no control of it at all. If people are being abducted, we can't stop it. We don't even know what to do about it. We're being visited. These creatures are coming into our atmosphere, into our planet. We can't defend against them. I mean, people would freak out. Now, because we only have a few minutes, how has it affected your life now? I mean, are you scared to go to bed at night? Are you scared that it's going to happen to you again?
Yeah. I mean, I'm 65 years old. Since 1977, I've never been out of reach of a handgun. I mean, I had, I worked in the court system. I worked for the government. I had special permission to carry a weapon. I didn't explain the reasons why. Well, at one point in my career, I put a lot of people in prison for a very long time. So, I mean, I had a plausible excuse, and a judge always wrote me a thing to take the sheriff's office to get a weapon. And, but I've always had a weapon. I mean, and that before 1977, no. Will a weapon do me any good if they try to abduct me again? You know what? I don't know, but I'm going to try like hell to shoot 3 or 4 of them dead. I really am. Before they take me, I'm going to do my best to take them out. I don't want to be taken again. I don't want to go through that. You know what? I have a difficult time sleeping in a hotel room by myself. I spent the weekend in Friday night in Houston, about a 4-hour drive, when I spoke at Rice University, and I bet I slept 2 hours.
You're doing.
I just.
You're doing.
Can't relax.
I'm going to admit something here, and I won't take much of your time, but I'll say this: back in the early `70s in New Mexico, something went on. Okay, and I've talked about it numerous times. James knows about it. The bright light, getting out, quietness, the light disappearing. Years later, I go to the doctor. The doctor says, well, where did you get that thing next to your spine? I have something that I'm going to share tonight that I haven't shared. I haven't had a full night's sleep since then. I live on maybe 2 hours sleep a day. I have done that since the early 70s. Now, people can sit there and say, oh, no, that's not true. Yeah, there will be maybe one day a week I will crash because I'm so exhausted from the whole week. But my wife will sit there and look at me because I'll go to bed, I wake up, okay, and then I end up sitting on the side of the bed. And I doing the show kind of brings back what happened in my situation, which I don't really want to go into it. All I know is I saw the bright light. But I had to going through X-ray machines. I had to go through metal detectors, setting everyone off. I can't go through one. I know something happened, and I have been in denial for it for years. But I tell you, I'm scared to death to sleep at night. I don't know why.
Me too.
And I'll be honest with you.
And you don't.
A foot away from my bed, I have a drawer, and I have a 9mm in the drawer.
Got a flashlight?
And a flashlight. LED bright flashlight.
It's a common trait.
Yeah. But as soon as I go to bed at night, I get these weird, thoughts in my head of, and it's scary. I get scared. I just can't sleep. I just toss and turn, and I don't sleep. And James knows I'll be up all night on my show answering emails because you know what? The last thing I want to do is go to bed. But as soon as the light comes out in the morning, and James knows about it, and about 6 o'clock my time, Pacific time, when it starts getting light outside, then I'll take a 2-3 hour nap. At night, I just can't do it. Now, we got about 4.5 minutes left to you. Tell the people what you want to share, what you feel you have to get out. Get it out and, again, push your book, please.
Yes, I would. I'd like to do that because, I wrote this book with the intention of... first time I wrote it, my daughter read it and said, you know what, this is a legal brief. You got 57 footnotes in here, and, you need to write this from your heart, not from a legal standpoint. And I wrote it, and I'll tell you, I think it's an easy read. People tell me that it's an easy read, and I tried my best. There's a famous judge. His name is Bork. He was nominated as a Supreme Court justice, but got kicked out at the Senate level. But I used to be a fan. He's I forget which circuit, my Ninth Circuit, I believe, appellate judge. And he could write the most complex legal stuff and write it in a way that an eighth grader could understand it. And I've always tried to mimic his writing style. So I wrote this book with every effort to make it an easy read, and I think I've succeeded. And again, the book is Incident at Devil's Den. And in the back of the book, I've got the x-rays both above and below my knee, the x-rays from when they came and they took one of the things out above my knee and it left me with the 2 wires inside, and some other interesting photographs, a drawing that I made of the ship. And it's on Amazon, Incident at Devil's Den, on Amazon, or you can get it on my Facebook page, Incident at Devil's Den, or you can get it on my poorly maintained website, which is terrylovelace.com. But it's in Kindle version for just a couple of bucks, $3, I think. And then paperback, and there's also an audio version that's very popular. So if you've got any interest in the topic, if you think that you've maybe had some experiences and you'd like to share them with me, my email address is in the back of the book. Reach out to me. I'm not a therapist or a doctor, but I answer everybody. So far, 1,200 people have written to me. If you've had a story like the one I shared tonight with Julia and Molly, I'll put it in my upcoming book. It's 1/3 done. It's a compilation of the stories that you folks have shared with me that are just unbelievable. Just phenomenal. And there's so much commonality between this. We all have so much in common, and the stories are so similar. It's got to be real. I mean, it is. You'll come away from it. Yeah.
Well, Terry, our time is up. I want you to keep in touch with me, please. If anything comes up, you need to get out. I can certainly bring you on for a half an hour or whatever. If you have any updates, if you want to, anytime, you know how to get a hold of me. Please do it.
I will. I might see if I can jump over. I know you probably have a guest on Wednesday. I'll see if I can jump over and say hi and give an update or two.
Please do. Again, people get his book. Now, I have to run. Again, Terry Lovelace, it's been great having you back on. And again, like I said,
Always.
Keep in touch, my friend. And we'll talk to you later, okay?
Thank you.
Okay, night.
All the best.
Okay.
Thanks, James. Bye-bye.
See you, Terry.
And when we come back after our newscast, we're going to be talking, a paranormal group in Spokane, Washington. So, stay tuned. We still got an hour left. You're listening to Night Dreams Talk Radio After Dark. We'll be back in about a minute and a half.